Okay, so I think the kind of plan today is to do a bit of a kind of post KVK chat, also talk through, I think how I like to start the week, um, and also do a bit of into, if you are going to purchase some packs, kind of the regular packs that come around, which ones I would kind of prioritize. Um, so, yeah, I mean, I think just from an activity perspective, kind of starting the week, all the various obvious ones. So obviously, kind of the Intel um, stuff to be done. Obviously, if you're able to get TG5, you should have the True Gold Crucible now, where you can kind of refine resources to get that additional True Gold. Obviously going through doing the island. Each week you'll get a new blueprint. We claim that for free. You can also get those during kind of KVK prep, which all go into how you can basically upgrade this, which is lethality and health, which is kind of key. So my next upgrade is 40. So by the end of the next prep, I should be able to upgrade that again. Just an FYI for people if they don't really know. Obviously, Mystic Trial to go through. What I will do, going to do a separate Mystic Trial video. I did mention it before when I did the run through, but I think definitely what I'm seeing is kind of relatively big jumps. Obviously, when I'm upgrading, but equally with the formations that I run, it's kind of the best way to probably do that. So I will do a separate one on that. And there's some other legacy or historic, I should say, videos which I need to kind of publish and do do a voiceover on. So it takes a bit more time than doing these kind of live ones, but I'll do that as soon as possible. So I'm trying to think really. So yeah, that's it really. So I guess what I want to talk to you today was, what are the regular packs that you see on a weekly basis, which are worth kind of picking up. And these obviously here, these vary. To be honest, only worth it if you want true gold. In this particular one, they also have, charm designs, etc. They can be really helpful when you need a specific thing for an upgrade. But because they're not consistently there throughout the week, I'll kind of leave those separate. So what I want to talk about is kind of the weekly ones, the ones that I kind of recommend. So what I'd say is, first and foremost, before you do anything else, the kind of weekly, monthly cards are the no-brainers. So, they're good value, particularly ultra value monthly card. I think even if you're, in inverted commas, a free-to-play player, it's worth it for what you get. Then the other ones, I think they're all kind of worth it. Probably the Speedup one is the least one, even though it says they're kind of the pet from a value perspective, percentage wise, is lower. I think because they are actually kind of more difficult to upgrade, and the pets are, something which can be a difference maker. I think there is greater value in that, but I'm hoping that percentage jumps up as we go into Gen 4, as it seems to have done for the other aspects. So before you do anything else, these would be kind of a given to me. So number one is the Ultra Value monthly card. If you're in the True Gold stage, I'd probably say True Gold, would be next. Then I say the kind of the gear, then the pets, and then probably finally the kind of speed ups. Speed ups really is just dependent on what you want to do, but I think realistically, what you get for $4.99 over the course of a week is pretty good. So the only thing to be aware of these is that you don't, apart from in the, you don't get VIP points. So if that's kind of a high priority, then just be aware of that. But I think the value overall is kind of worth it. Daily deals, I don't see particular value. I did in the earlier game, when kind of Speedups, XP, etc., and kind of hero shards but I just don't see um, the value from a personal perspective for getting, what was probably 10 shards for 4.99, even though the percentage looks good. What I would recommend is a weekly deal. So I try to get it so you can see, you get that for free, and you can see these different hurdles to 3, 6, and 9. So you get the additional XP each level, and then the additional hammers. Again, if you're not going to reach those hurdles, this becomes less valuable. But I think again, it's a really useful one. So what I do is each of them, I take them up to the 4.99 and the 9.99, which takes me to this level. You can then do an additional 3 to get the custom hero. I don't really think it's worth it for that. If you need additional XP, hammers, etc., then fine. I think I've done it once. But overall, I think, even if you just go to the 3, so that you get 1 for free, and then you could get, say, for example, the hammers and the shards. Again, it depends on your priority. But by going to 9, you get, 2 levels. So I think they're really kind of useful. And then within here, I mean, you can obviously got the widget. We're going to do a separate video on the widgets, but I think that's something which is not really value. As you can see, 1400% is not great. And again here, like, just really not needed. I think if you really wanted it for Swordland or something, then maybe, but yeah, I don't personally see the kind of the value in that. So then the next bit is obviously on the deals. So the hero benefits card. Obviously, you can choose which one you want. So I'm focusing on kind of the hero gear at the moment, because that was kind of lagging for me, and I kind of, but it's either the gear or the charm is pretty good. The governor gear is also pretty good. But I'm kind of focusing on the hero gear itself, because good amount of kind of XP to upgrade the gear, good amount of forge hammers. So that's what I've done. So I definitely recommend that as one thing. So that's 9.99, and again, you get kind of the additional elements. You get those kind of these immediately, and then the ones down here you will get as you reach the target points. So throughout the week, Hall of Heroes is a good spot, I think, if you want to get widgets, but your kind of previous generations. Again, for hero shards, I don't think it's worth it unless you're really focused. I mean, this Eric, I actually don't need any season 1 or season 2, because I've now maxed probably where I want to be from season 1 and season 2 heroes, which I could add additional widgets. I don't think I really want to do. So it would probably be Hildy would be the one, but with season 4 heroes coming, cavalry, I think that's going to be kind of a focus, given the uptick in that particular hero. So I've got these additional ones here. Again, if you're trying to build up previous season widgets, I think it is then worthwhile. This 4.99, etc. And then this kind of that refreshes on a daily basis. The 4.99. I think the others are 1 per time of the Hall of Heroes is active. So it can be useful for initially getting that hero. So that Hall of Heroes hero, and then you can obviously increase or complete that hero with kind of more general shards, which I think probably is a better value. I'm kind of deciding what I'm going to do here. I want Eric to 4 stars, but the Gen 4 infantry is going to be a focus for me. So, and then the kind of the widgets I don't really need. The only one actually I may look at further developing is from a season 1 perspective is Saul, and developing his widget, because again, with the potential 60-40, so 60 infantry, 40 cavalry formation coming in, Saul is kind of the archer hero that you want to include in that formation. So that's something that I may do, but again, I'm kind of undecided. And the benefit here, you can keep these tickets and they fall over. Now, they don't transfer over to the next season, but you'll still have the options that you can see here. So anyway, if you're trying to develop widgets, can be worthwhile, but again, it just depends. They're not a must. Um, the Intel monthly card, I think, absolutely is worthwhile. You can see straight after purchasing, you get um, True Gold again. Obviously then targets it's the kind of Hero XP or Hero Gear XP. But again, I think that it's definitely worth doing from a value perspective. Um, and then the kind of final two, both very different, but yeah, the this one Hero Rally, I think it's worthwhile for me because I'm kind of completing the Jaeger. Um, so obviously you get True Gold as well in there, you get some skill books, etc. Um, it's not cheap; it's £9.99, but again, I think it's kind of value for what you get overall. And again, these are quite general, so they're not particularly targeted. Um, and the other one's signing there, and I think this is 99p or 99 cents, so it's almost like a no-brainer for what you get. But it's just, yeah. So yeah, I think from my side, those are the the general um, overview as far as what I would recommend kind of packs that for you to look at, if you are going to spend money. And it can be a combination of them, doesn't have to be all of them. Some people will look at others which are more valuable. But I think, outside of the events, so obviously at the moment, for example, we've got Buccaneer Bounty. Um, Again, a problem with a lot of these events is, there is that kind of random chance slash luck based element to it, which is great and that's fine, and that's part of the fun potentially. But I think if you're looking at where you kind of can get consistent value, that the ones I've been through is where I just kind of focus on, and then if specific events you see there's something you want, um, or you feel there's particularly strong value in there, then absolutely kind of go on and add those in, or buy those instead of kind of these regular kind of weekly packs that you may otherwise be looking at. But um, yeah, I think it's an interesting one. That's kind of my view. I'll be keen to get your kind of input if you have any thoughts, questions. You may have a differing opinion. That's fine. So kind of comment, and I'm happy to kind of discuss that. And this will obviously evolve going forward. I guess the other big update was from the account perspective. My town centre and all of my troops are TG5. So yeah, you can see here the troop bonuses are pretty nice. So those are done for KVK. I'm just finishing off the embassy, and then I'll kind of finish off the command center as well. I could hold it for next KVK, but to be honest, I'll probably just use it for Alliance Brawl, which we've got ongoing. But yeah, aside from that, I don't think there's a huge amount. We should be getting Gen 4 heroes soon, and then obviously pets as well. That'd be interesting. But yeah, I think that it was a bit of an update on the account, how we did in KVK. So we lost a prep, super high power opponent. They did a great job in prep. It wasn't completely one way, but they kind of just overpowered us at the end in the prep phase. So we were defending the castle, and we held the castle, which was great. And they had some 500 million plus mega whales versus us. I'll kind of just show you where our kind of kingdom is. So 5x is the kind of leader comfortably. It's our kind of mega whale, but he was 300 mil, I think, prior to KVK. So there's a big jump. What I'm actually learning as well is a large part of this. These people in other kingdoms that we're competing against that may have higher power. Big chunk of that is down to number of troops. I managed to kill off something like 600,000 of my troops in KVK. That was going to post the castle battle. We had a couple of alliances from the opposing kingdom that came over to burn my alliance while we were fighting Castle, so a little bit of retribution there. It wasn't, helped me with some points as well, but to be honest, it was more principled, the fact they'd done that and targeted people that, clearly weren't involved in the battle. So kind of had to go back in and yeah, sacrifice some of my brave soldiers. But yeah, I think it was a good battle. Pleased we won. Some good changes happening actually in our server. There were some question marks about whether people wanted to continue um, in the server, but I'll do a separate update on myself and status. But I thought I wanted to just go through beginning of the week, whereas the kind of focus, some kind of focus on packs and a bit of a general discussion. But yeah, everything is looking good, positive, and moving forward. But yeah, once again, like, subscribe, questions in the comments would be appreciated. Right, thanks all.